The pen trembled in her hand as the room glowed with festive lights and quiet laughter, a cruel contrast to the storm breaking inside her chest. Surrounded by silk dresses, polished smiles, and clinking glasses, Aria Whitmore lowered her eyes and signed the divorce papers at a Christmas party that felt more like a public farewell to her dignity. No one noticed the silent tear that slipped down her cheek. And no one, absolutely no one, knew who she really was. Before the story unfolds any further, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of truth to change lives, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to Kindness Corner. Also, tell us in the comments where you're watching from. Your support truly means everything. The Whitmore estate had never felt colder, despite the elegant decorations and gentle glow of Christmas lights. Aria sat at the long wooden table, shoulders slightly hunched, her gray coat still wrapped around her like armor. The soft hum of holiday music filled the air, but it barely reached her. Her world had narrowed to the thin pages beneath her pen and the weight of a decision she never thought she would make in front of strangers who once called her family. Around her stood people who believed they understood her story, who believed she was weak, ordinary, and replaceable. For years, Aria had been the quiet one. She had married into wealth, not realizing how quickly comfort could turn into control and how easily love could fade when measured against status and appearances. She had given up her own ambitions, choosing peace over pride, simplicity over spotlight. When her marriage began to crumble, she had tried to fix it quietly, privately, hoping dignity might survive where affection did not. But dignity was a fragile thing in rooms filled with judgment. As she signed, the faces around her wore expressions that cut deeper than words. Some smiled politely, others exchanged knowing glances, and a few barely concealed their amusement. To them, Aria was the woman who failed, the one who could not hold on to her place in a world that thrived on image. They saw her as someone lucky to have been there at all, and now even luck had run out. The party continued, elegant and indifferent, as if her heartbreak were just another ornament on the tree. What no one in that room knew was that Aria had learned silence long before she learned compromise. She had grown up understanding restraint, responsibility, and humility, not because she lacked options, but because she was taught to value substance over spectacle. Her past was carefully guarded, not out of shame, but out of choice. She had stepped away from a life of extraordinary privilege years ago, determined to build something real on her own terms. She never mentioned her father, Malcolm Whitmore, a man whose name moved markets and whose presence commanded rooms far grander than this one. Aria believed that love should stand without the crutch of wealth or influence. She believed people revealed their truest selves when they thought no one powerful was watching. And tonight, as she signed away her marriage under the soft glow of Christmas lights, she was learning exactly how right she had been. The moment the pen left the page, a strange calm settled over her. The pain was still there, heavy and undeniable, but beneath it stirred something else, clarity. She realized that this room, these people, and this chapter no longer had any claim over her future. What they mistook for defeat was actually release. She folded the documents carefully, her hands steadier now, and placed them on the table. As the evening went on, whispers spread, but none carried the truth. No one knew that earlier that day, a private jet had landed quietly at a nearby airport. No one noticed the subtle shift when a few unfamiliar guests arrived, dressed simply yet carrying an air of quiet authority. And no one connected the way Aria straightened her posture when she sensed, rather than saw, the presence of someone who had always known her strength. The revelation did not come with fireworks or announcements. It arrived softly, respectfully, the way real power often does. When Malcolm Whitmore entered the room, conversation slowed. A few guests recognized him instantly, others felt the change without understanding why. His gaze moved across the room until it found Aria, and in that moment, the entire evening transformed. The laughter faltered. The confidence of those who had mocked her thinned into uncertainty. Malcolm did not raise his voice or demand attention. He simply stood beside his daughter, placing a gentle hand on her shoulder, his presence speaking volumes. Those who had looked down on her now struggled to meet her eyes. The truth settled heavily in the room. Aria was not someone who had lost everything. She was someone who had chosen to walk away from excess, and now she was free to step back into her own world, on her own terms. Aria did not seek revenge or satisfaction. What mattered was the quiet dignity of being seen for who she truly was, not for what others assumed. She realized that the people who laughed had revealed more about themselves than they ever knew. And she understood that strength was not proven by how loudly one triumphs, but by how gracefully one endures. As she left the party, the Christmas lights seemed different, less mocking, more hopeful. The night air felt lighter, as if the weight she had carried for years had finally lifted. Arya walked forward not as someone rescued, but as someone reclaimed. Her future was wide open, no longer shaped by judgment or expectation, but by choice. If this story touched your heart, if Arya's quiet strength and resilience moved you even a little, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs encouragement, and subscribe to Kindness Corner. Your support helps us continue sharing stories that remind us all of compassion, dignity, and hope. And before this story ends, we have one special request. Please comment below with one word that describes how this story made you feel. Your words matter more than you know. Because sometimes, the people who seem weakest are the ones carrying the greatest strength. And sometimes, the quietest tears mark the beginning of the most powerful new chapter.